Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Inside Lion Athletics. Joined now by head soccer coach Ashley Gordon. Lion soccer's had a little bit of tough time, but it's not much separation between us and them.
That's right. We played this weekend, obviously, against North Texas and in Tarleton. It was a quick turnaround within 48 hours. Two different stories, I guess, for our team. Friday night against North Texas, we were leading in about 8 minutes left to go in the game. Then, ended up conceding, goals. But our team was really, really organized, and I thought that we played really well. I thought it really came down to the wire. But I was pleased with our performance. I know we were so close to being able to get a win, but I was really pleased with just how we played. And we talk about it's building blocks every single time that we're playing a non-conference match, because it's all about getting prepared for conference play.
Looking at the schedule already, you played what, 5 matches? And you're better than 10% done on the whole year. How fast it goes by.
It does. You blink and you're upon the conference tournament. You don't realize it. You wait so many months to get prepared for, obviously, a 3-month season. And, one injury can set back a player and miss a third of a season. Or miss half of a season.
Sure.
So, it's a lot of games in a short period of time. We've faced some injuries early on, getting some of those players back for this weekend for upcoming games. But it's all about health and just preparing our team to play. So, on Sunday's match, against Tarleton, of course, and this is never an excuse. I mean, we having a 2-hour delay, we jumped out early. I do believe that already in the first 10 minutes of how we were playing and possessing, I thought that we would have scored a goal, early had we not had the delay. And of course, the delay isn't the reason why we ended up losing the game. Our performance against Tarleton, I thought we played really well. I thought that we possessed the majority of the play. Our team was organized. We created a lot of chances. We missed a lot of chances. We hit the crossbar, hit the post. Could have scored in the last 8 seconds of the game, to tell you the truth. Yeah, but played really well. But unfortunately, one mistake can bite you, and that was really what happened. Talking to our team, about this week of you got to pay attention to every single detail, and if you take care of those details, you'll come out, with the W. But I think, our team was pretty gutted on Sunday because, we felt like we were the better team, just based on performance. But sometimes, you have a little bad luck.
You just didn't need Mother Nature to chip in against you. That's all there is.
Not an excuse. We needed to close the game, really.
2-1, you get up on North Texas. You started out down 1-0, then got 2 quick ones, and they were in rapid succession. What was that sequence like from your sideline?
Great. Great. I think I'd have to go back and look at the time. It might have been like 38 seconds. Something that was definitely less than a minute. But it's when you're dealing with adrenaline. Your players feed off of that, and you catch a team that's still trying to figure out what happened. And, like I said, we've got players that can create chances. So, but really, really nice goals from our players.
One of the things that they're going to be working on right away is to go up and take on Tulsa. Y'all are just about to hop on the bus.
Yes, we are. We leave here shortly. Great opponent. They're playing well, and I'm sure, with some of their results, walking into a team that is playing with confidence. And so it's going to be a tough match. Our kids need to rise to the occasion. And, again, but for us, it doesn't matter the opponent. Right now, it's all about us. It is ironing out all of those details, not losing concentration in last minutes. That's critical, as we saw even when we were in New Mexico State. So we always talk about with our team, you got to win the first 45, okay, and then let's sort out at halftime whatever we need to address and come out in the second half and win the next 45. And but it's we got to play well. We got to play well, but we're playing a very good opponent, and I've got great respect for their coach, too.
All right. After Tulsa, you'll have just 3 games left before the start of conference play. I know you don't want to look too far ahead, but how's it lay out?
All good opponents. We come home on Sunday. We play Texas State. We'd love for our Lion fans to come out and cheer us on. We play at 1:00. It's, again, another really good opponent. Different. I think we're going to see a different style of soccer from Friday night's match to Thursday's game to Sunday's game. But right now, like I said, it's all about Thursday. We don't even start to prepare for Texas State until we get through the first game. So, and then obviously we close out conference play the following weekend, and we get ready for UTRGV, which will be our first conference away match.
Blink of an eye.
Blink of an eye.
All right. Hey, Coach, thanks so much. Tell everybody again about the Tulsa game so they know where to tune in.
Tune in, ESPN Plus at 7 o'clock kickoff.
Be there. Go Lions.
Go Lions.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Inside Lion Athletics. I'm Charlie Chitwood, joined now by Lion volleyball head coach Joe Morales. Joe, tell me how it is.
It's been good. We came off a great weekend. We're excited, and we hit the road again tomorrow to Carolina.
You did. 2 out of 3 on the multi-team event you hosted. So that were you? I mean, obviously you were shooting for all 3,
right? Absolutely. No, I mean, yes, we're definitely shooting for all 3, but we'll take it. Getting the 2 wins and finishing strong, and so we're excited. It was a good weekend for us. I was really pleased with the team's performance and how they adjusted.
So you go to another multi-team event this weekend, but you've got to go out to, let's see, it's East Carolina?
East Carolina in North Carolina. That's correct. Yeah.
That makes it easy.
Yeah,
sure,
exactly.
It's just another one of those directional schools.
Right, absolutely.
So how's that going to be? You've got some programs out there that we don't commonly see.
Right. So, we're playing Western Carolina, and then we'll play East Carolina on the prime time, and then we finish off with
North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, so we're excited. All we got is film, and so we've been working on that. And I know East Carolina is probably a tough team, just given the conference and the American Conference, and he's doing really well. And so we're excited to play. I mean, they're a really good team, so it's going to test us a little bit and get us prepared.
Okay, just like soccer was with Coach Ashley,
right.
Conference play for your Lion women is not that far away.
No, we have 3 more weekends, including this one, and then we open up at Northwestern State. So
it's so early to talk about the progression of a team, how it's coming along, whether there's improvement yet or not. But right out of the gate, you can tell whether somebody's misstepped or tripped up or whether they're on a good start.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to figuring out the lineups and how we can be a little bit more fluid in the lineups and be comfortable in the lineups. And I think this past weekend was a good testament of that. We kind of stuck with what was working right now, and a lot of it's just consistency and getting them to do it over and over again. And I think we did a good job of that. We were running a 6-2, and so I thought, they performed really well. And the 2 keys for me were passing and blocking, and I thought we did a good job of that in those departments. So, and we're going to go through some stretches where we're going to have to switch some things and make adjustments and maybe even look at some different lineups. But that's what preseason is about.
Talk a little bit about your all-conference player of the week, Jade Smith, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Defensive player of the week,
Southland
Conference.
Yeah, she's been working extremely hard. I mean, she's that kid that comes in and she'll get extra reps by herself. She's coming to the gym. She's always asking, hey, I'm going to come in at this time. She'll set up the net up. And so she's been working hard at doing that. And defensively, she's keeping us up. But she's doing a lot better than last year in the passing game. So that helps our offense a lot.
For people that don't follow the nuts and bolts of volleyball, I mean, they like to go to a game, they enjoy all that. But she had 79 digs in those, what was it, five sets?
Right. Yeah,
and that's like 6 a game. She only mishandled 3.
Sure. Yeah.
That's, to me, an incredible rate of success.
It is. And I think, the libero is the one that you want touching the ball the first time every time. And so she has a green light to go anywhere in the court and get things. And, she runs the backcourt for us a little bit in that sense. And so she's making plays. And, I think there was a point in one of the games where I just said, just play, just ball out. And don't think about overthinking schematics or what you need to do mechanically. Just go get the ball and don't let it drop. And she's relentless, and so she's going after it. She's taking control, and that's what we want our libero to do. So they're playing 6 rotations. They can come out any time without a sub count. She's also serving for our middle, so she's doing a really good job on that end.
Talk about the flow that she creates. I mean, she's basically guiding the offense off of her defense.
Yeah, that's a big stat that we talk about, which is dig to kill stat, which is in transition, trying to score off a defensive transition. And I think that's one of our keys that we've been so successful in, and it all starts with her. I always use the phrase, like we get a lot of young kids coming in and they'll touch a big ball, but it won't go anywhere. It just goes up. Well, she gets it to the setter as much as she can, which flows the offense even better. So we kind of put a little bit of emphasis in that, dig with intention. So she's taking charge of that and helping Ellie or Savannah initiate the offense. And that's what we want our libero to do. And so she's doing a good job.
Your younger players, I know they've all been club ball, and they have a lot of confidence from all of those extra reps that they get in that. But when you start the college game, it's a little bit different. Are they getting their eyes starting to close down to normal size?
Yeah, and it's always coming from the high school level or the club level into college. It don't make a difference what level you're coming into. The college game is just so fast. It's so gritty, and some of them are, deer in the headlights sometimes. They have the skill, but, the tendencies that they need to perform in, and whether it's a scheme or whatnot, it's a little bit tougher. I mean, college is hard in general, and so making that transition is the hardest thing for these young players to do. And the biggest thing we preach is you got to be patient. You got to have growth. We're the sport that we don't have summer. We don't get summer. We play right away. And so most of these freshmen or younger players don't get better until the spring. So we could actually break them down. So because we're right in the team emphasis of it. And so that's the hard part of our sport is we get maybe 2.5 weeks to get them ready and, polish up their skills. And so we preach that. Just be patient and trust the process. And, the younger players, are adapting to that pretty well.
Are they able to pick up the defensive or offensive side of the game quicker?
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of teaching. Early on in preseason, we split up. We do positionals. Our coaches are whatever position they have, or offensive scheme or defensive scheme, and we're making understanding what their assignments are. I think a lot of it is teaching early. I mean, it's like doing homework. You got playbooks to understand. You got plays to call. It's blocking schemes to understand, and it gets different. It gets difficult, and so even going against this weekend, our blocking schemes are going to change a lot, and so they have to understand who they're playing against. Every rotation, and you're going to be facing a different hitter every single time, and so that hitter may be different in how we play them, and so the learning process is there. But the beauty of that is we got a good veteran core here that understand it, and are helping these younger players as well.
Coach, it's too early, too much, but do you look around, see how the other conference schools are doing? I mean, I try got to have a little chip on your shoulder. Y'all got picked eighth.
Yeah, no, I mean, you always want to see where you're at in comparison. I try not to do too much of that because I want to be in the moment. But yeah, there is some of me. I was up last night watching the Northwestern game, and they played. Sean, pulled it off in a 5th set against Jacksonville, and I'm happy to see that in our conference. But yeah, I mean that's what ESPN Plus is for, right? So,
yeah, indeed.
Plus I'm not really into the scouting mode right now with them, but keeping up with them, yeah, absolutely. You want to know where they're at and how they're progressing and what changes are being made and what we can account for later, and that works. So, preparation is discipline. So that's what I try to do.
All right, so everybody's seeing this hours after we've recorded it. You're getting ready to have practice, and then it's get on the bus and to the airport, I expect.
Yeah, so we'll practice, and we leave tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, tomorrow morning, bright and early, and fly out at 11, and we're in North Carolina. So
boom.
Yeah, absolutely. So
okay,
Greenville.
It's mustard-based barbecue sauce over there, just so you know.
Oh, well, good to know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was trying to figure out what's there and what they're about, and I have no idea.
Pulled pork, mustard-based.
Okay,
you're in good shape.
All right,
that's how it works. Feed the lions.
There you go. Absolutely,
folks. Everybody, thanks a lot. Joe's got to go. Everybody, welcome back. It is time for a little bit more Inside Lion Athletics. I'm Charlie Chitwood. I'm joined now by Lions football head coach Clint Dalzell. Coach, tough, quick trip out to San Diego. Good things, and then some others that up on the scoreboard. San Diego State, in all, there's 130 some odd FBS, and they're at number 88. There's 129 FCS. And the Lions are at number 88.
Yeah, well, I don't really look too much into that.
It just gives you some place to.
It doesn't affect me one way or another. What we are, what they are. We just got to go out and execute a little bit better than we did. Especially in the second half. The first half too, we had some opportunities where we actually, I feel like we should have been up maybe 14-17 to 3 at halftime, and we just got to take advantage of those, against those teams that are, probably maybe have a little bit deeper roster, a little bit more talented we are, down the line. And we just didn't do that in the first half, and then we came out second half and just laid an egg, basically. Especially on the offensive side, we turned it over twice, and you can't give them 2 scores when your defense is, doing so well.
Talk a little bit about the first half. You go in up 6-3. Had to be disappointed you didn't get the PAT kick, but what happened on that? Was it a snap?
It looks like it was a little bit low.
Okay.
But, it was doable. We try to, kickers try to, they're a timing thing, but if it gets a little bit off, it can happen, and it was just a little bit. He stuttered there and, just pulled a little bit.
E.J. Oakman ran the ball pretty nice a few times. He had to, the blocking that opened up some room for him to run, and B, just the way he dipped his head and ran at people.
No, I was pleased. E.J. had, we expect that out of E.J., and we expect that out of E.J., and, he's a walk-on for us. Not anymore after today. We gave him some partial scholarships, so he's definitely earned it. And I was pleased with the offensive line. We moved the ball well. I think there's a few opportunities in there where if we could have just slipped through and busted a few longer runs, might have been a difference in the ball game.
Coach, when you award a scholarship like that to somebody once the year is underway, you see in other schools the way people kind of make a big deal out of it. Do y'all do it the same way? Do y'all find a way to make it cool for the guy?
We did today. So after practice, we normally get out and I give my little spiel right after practice and, talk about the day and talk about the show team, how they did, and, cover a few other things. But that was our last thing on the plate today. And, EJ's well liked, and it's very obvious once we announced that today. They just got up and we were on a knee and just went in and group hugged him and just cheered for a good minute and a half and all hugged him. So it was a good moment. It felt good.
One of those things, it's instantaneously changes the mood on the whole squad, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's such a likable guy. I've been trying to give him some scholarships since I've been here. Honestly, he's done so much for us. He's a workhorse. He doesn't complain. He plays his butt off in games, and he's had a few injuries that set him back for us since he's been here. But he's healthy right now, and he's doing well.
Okay, talk a little bit about the UCal Aggies up at Davis. UCal Davis Aggies that we're going to see on Saturday. It's a quick trip out there.
Yeah, it is. Right back to Cali. That's tough, but good football team, good program, sound football team. I believe when we played them last year, they didn't have one penalty. Amazing. That's pretty good coaching, and a little bit the other way with really they're that good. They don't have one penalty. That's pretty impressive. To our 11,
especially on the road at our house.
Right. So yeah, they're well coached. They're well disciplined. They're going to be where they're supposed to, and they're not going to beat themselves. So we know we're going to play good football.
Very good. Health wise, how do we come out of the game over in San Diego?
We're a little, a couple offensive guys that got a little dinged up. We'll see game time decision on a couple of them.
Okay. Last thing, have you made any sudden urges to get a giveaway of Hawaiian shirts with lions on them instead of San Diego State? That was a lot of Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, it was. And they had a pretty good crowd, for the first one. It wasn't sold out like they said, but it was a great atmosphere. The kids loved it.
Okay, Coach, we got to do it quick this week. Thanks for joining us, and I know you're ready to good luck get back out there with them.
We are.
All right, folks. Clint Dalzell, head coach of A&M Commerce Lions. We'll see you back in just a minute. It's time to talk a little golf. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Inside Lion Athletics. I'm Charlie Chitwood, joined now by our director of golf, Brian Dolhide. Dolhide. Dang it. Did I get it right second time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Brian Dolhide, director of golf. That means you get to be the head coach for both the men and the women. That's not really what you expected when you got here, was it?
No, I signed up as the head men's golf coach and was lucky to take over the women's program last spring.
So it's they're just golfers, though.
Well, they're great kids, great student athletes, yeah.
Yeah. All right, talk about, fall golf, it's the year-round sport, really.
Right, yeah, so we're really excited to get our season started out in Missouri this weekend. We're going out to Missouri State, bringing back a lot of talented girls from our team last year. We're just really excited to get our season underway.
The guys are going to follow with their first tournament.
Right.
I'll spit it out eventually. I play golf, but it's been a while, and I'm still not sure which end to hold.
Yeah, so we have a few girls' tournaments to start off the season, and then the guys will start off towards the end of the month in September.
So over the course of the year, you've got fall and spring. What are which season? It's going to be the spring one, I expect, is where the conference championship is determined.
That's right, yes. So our conference championship is typically towards the end of April.
Okay.
And so really what we're doing is getting ready, trying to figure out the right team, the right strategy, everything for the end of that season.
How much are you able to get into the head of your golfers? Because it's such a mental game. And coming out of, the high school ranks maybe, or a smaller college to come here, the competitive level is up a bit in the Southland. How do you help them just calm down and not look up?
Yeah, these 36-hole rounds on Mondays are pretty heavy on your mental game for sure. It's extremely important just to stay level-headed throughout a tournament. Never get too high, never get too low, because great things will be around the corner.
Where do you like to go recruiting? Do you just look at scores and say, that's a kid I want to get an interest in, or do you have an area where you usually find some pretty good golfers?
Yeah, so, it's one, obviously, scores are extremely important. That kind of opens up the door for every player, and then getting to know them, their family, how they act on the golf course is extremely important to me. Trying to figure that out before they step on campus.
How different will the links be up in Missouri compared to the courses that your team's working out on here?
It'll be a little more open. We typically play tighter lies out here on the Bermuda. It'll be bent grass up there, so that's more of what I grew up on. A lot more wide open. It'll be great. Yeah, we're excited.
Okay. So where I grew up on, what kind of greens did you grow up playing on?
I played in Chicago, which was also bent. So,
right.
I believe bent's a bit easier. We practice on the hard stuff down here.
So your background playing in the Chicago area, the Windy City, it's a little bit breezy down here as well. Do you have to work with the kids, your golfers, about how to handle the wind?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, ball flight down in Texas is extremely important. Keeping it below the wind as much as possible is crucial.
Okay. What else you want to say about them?
I mean, it's
What are the guys going to do while the women are playing in their tournament? Are they just going to head down the road to the Target Golf and play a little bit there?
No, so we play out at Rockwall Golf and Athletic Club. We've got 2 great graduate assistants who will be taking the guys to and from practice, and they'll get their work in while I'm out of town with the girls, and we'll start qualifying up for the guys next week.
Oh, man. It just keeps rolling, doesn't it?
It does.
And you count, how many matches will they each side get in during the fall?
So the girls have 5 tournaments, and the guys will play 4 events in the fall. And then we'll get right back at it out in February.
See a lot. Do you run into the Southland Conference teams around here in these matches?
Yeah, we see conference opponents just about each week.
Okay.
On both sides.
All right. Well, good luck up in Missouri.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Go Lions, everybody. Brian Dolhide, Director of Golf for Lion Golf here in A&M Commerce. Already started. Everything else. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Inside Lion Athletics. We are saving Big Jim Curry for last. Jim, didn't I just see you in San Diego?
We did.
Good night. It was a quick
sunny
weekend.
San Diego, too. It was beautiful. Weather was great. And for 30 minutes, it was really, really good. And even beyond that, too. But those first 30 were pretty fun.
It was indeed. You get that. And when you get nearly 20,000 people in a house and it's very quiet, you know that you're with the right team.
I meant to record the broadcast at home before I left, and I forgot to. So I'm going to go back and watch it. But, again, I think we knew that it was a great opportunity to showcase the university. And by all accounts, from talking to folks who watched it at home, that's exactly what it did. And so, again, like those are the moments, those are the opportunities that the platform provides. And so to the extent that we can take advantage of them in any sport, but in particular this one that night, then it's a good thing for us.
Yeah, that's the biggest program that the Lions have played in football in a long, long time. I mean, we had an FBS game at ODU last year, but gosh, there was a hurricane, and they didn't know whether we were going to play on time. So you get out there, and the guys handled themselves pretty well, it seemed.
Yeah. I mean, they were ready for it, and heck, I mean, up at the half, could have had a couple more points on the board, had a call stood on the field, I guess, right? I guess it doesn't go our way if it stands, right?
Oh, I didn't mean to drop that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we talked about it a little bit at halftime on the broadcast during the game, but, again, you look at the overall weekend across all sports, including cross-country, too. You throw them in the mix, too, because they got going this weekend. Again, just continuing to demonstrate that we can compete. And, it's a process, right? And so about those games like we played this weekend, and it applies across all sports, you got to play in those games before you can win those games, right? And so playing on that stage, on that platform, with that opportunity, things can happen. And I think we saw that across the country with FCS2. There wasn't a ton of wins, but there was a lot of competition for FCS teams against FBS teams this weekend, even more so than our game. And so, again, just using the platform.
It's almost like a carnival game somewhat. We're trying to knock off one of the big shots. And big shots being an FBS program, we're FCS, and we're still trying to get all of the membership benefits that you get from being in.
Yeah, so I just met with men's basketball. They kind of a beginning of the year meeting for them, and now that everybody's here for the fall. And, one of them asked a question about the reclass process, and we talked about it. And, one of the things I said, let's be very clear. Every way we operate right now, we operate like a Division I. The only thing we don't have the opportunity to do right now is to participate in the in-state tournament. But one of the things we talked about in that room is if you earn that opportunity to participate in a postseason event, and those are available to us in your sport, in this case men's basketball it is, we're going to do it. And so
there's like 3 different invitationals that they could possibly get an invite to.
Yeah. And I'll say this too. We didn't have men's basketball on the agenda today, but since we're talking about it, I just left. If you thought the schedule last year was something,
I know.
Wait for this year.
I know.
Right? Wait for this year. And that's a little bit of a teaser for everybody listening at home, but wait for this one.
You can't tell me that we're going to have a better year than last year, are we?
it's going to be a more impressive schedule than it was last year. Let's put it that way.
All right, you said that we weren't going to talk about basketball.
We can if you want, I guess.
I mean, we have.
Can.
I mean, if you got more. But what were some of the other things you had on your mind?
Well, I mean, there's a big softball announcement coming tomorrow.
Ooh.
So that'll be exciting about an opponent that we're bringing to Commerce that I think will be more than okay. Let's put it that way, all right, for the fall. So it's an exciting announcement there that we've got in conjunction with them. But that'll actually kind of that's going to actually start the week for us for homecoming week. And again, I don't want to look ahead because we haven't played our first home game yet either. But that homecoming week is really setting up to be pretty something special with a massive home softball game on Wednesday, probably as big as it could get. Thursday, volleyball, soccer, Friday, doubleheader volleyball, football on Saturday, and then soccer against Lamar, who's the defending champion, on Sunday. So big week ahead.
Big game.
I'll say this before we get there, though, and looking ahead to the first home game, I don't want to look past UC Davis because that's a great opportunity for us as well, playing a ranked team at their place.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, credit to the entire external team for what the work they've been doing. We didn't have the season we wanted last year in football. We're up over 10% in season ticket sales from last year, despite all that. And so the energy, the excitement around the program, the support from our fans and our alums, it's just there. And, again, we talked about trying to create that last time Division I championship culture, right? And people leaning into it, supporting it, rallying around it. I talked about that with the men's basketball guys too, right? In terms of how we level up the standard here that is already high, but level that up to match kind of what our peers are doing and, continue to position us to compete for championships at the Division I level now. Good
stuff. Hey, you just had a 903.
Oh, yeah.
How'd that go?
It was good. First time we did it. It was kind of one of the challenges was just so much other stuff going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we teased it a little bit last week, got some stuff out. Kind of used this year. So, again, 903 in conjunction on September 3rd, right? Just kind of really recognizing and celebrating our relationship with East Texas and the 903 area code. So something we'll look to do and more in the future as well, but made student-athlete health and well-being a focus this year. So had enough support come in through that initiative yesterday, and then in combination with some other sports medicine-related endowment accounts that there's some new equipment we're going to be able to get for the sports medicine unit that we haven't had before. That's going to really help in recovery. So excited about the outcomes of that in the first year trial run. Again, small. It was a micro campaign too. We didn't put the same energy around it that we did, say, Giving Day last year in the spring, which we'll do again in the spring and put the same kind of energy around it. But we really kind of wanted to test it, and I think more than anything, just kind of have a little fun with September 3rd and celebrating our relationship.
I know people get back into the office on the 3rd, they'll open up emails. Oh no!
Oh man, here we go. Yeah.
That's all right. It worked out. I can't wait to hear what the numbers ended up being before when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. So we're excited about just kind of getting that launched and kind of getting to that in the cycle and. Again, being a little bit sensitive to the fact that we're getting ready to we've put a lot of focus into football and what we're asking folks to do there in terms of that investment and showing up and being engaged. And, we did a run through last night in the stadium and just working through what that game day production looks like. And again, not to look ahead from Davis, but I'll tell you the entire team's focus right now in athletics is on that first home game. And there's a lot coming. And one thing that we haven't announced yet, and I guess I'll share with it now, it's a little bit of a scoop for that game, but we've got John Carlos coming to be the honorary captain for that game, and so those not familiar, but that very iconic human rights moment, 1968 Olympics, but a guy who, he had an opportunity to meet with Ibrahim Fassini back in the spring.
Nice,
and so it was this really just kind of cool moment that I was able to observe that I wasn't even a part of, but I got to watch where the most recent Olympian, this was before the next two qualified, so it was only one at the time, but our most recent Olympian and, John Carlos, who represented Team USA in the Olympics, of course, had an opportunity to talk about their experience, right? And they didn't talk about track.
Sure.
They were talking about how do you take advantage of and embrace the opportunity of being in the village and the Olympic Village and what he should do and be thinking about that. And this is like behind the scenes gold that you would
Yeah.
never even anticipate. But aside from sport, just life and embracing a moment and being kind of where your feet are, right? And so it was really just kind of cool to sit
That's
back
awesome.
and just watch and listen to it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So he's going to be back that day. We got a number of other folks too. So yeah, we're going to get it started in a big way for sure. But we're excited about some of the things that we're doing in the stadium, and Avi and Mirage and Josiah and Steve and others have been working their tails off. Jackie on the marketing side have been working their tails off to just kind of continue to enhance what we're doing in our game day production. And so yeah, we're excited to get there, but we still got a lot of work to do.
Are we on our way to a sellout for that home opener?
Well, I will say this: tickets are doing really, really well. We talked about our season ticket numbers being up from last year, but as we start looking at single game, I mean, if you haven't bought a reserve seat yet for Grambling, you better do it now.
Yes.
It's going. And so, and then from there, we've gotten a great response from both our fans and their fans. Being 3 hours away, big Dallas crowd for
Yes.
them. I mean, so we're going to need everybody in the stadium too, because they're going to travel. Every day it seems like we've got another flyer that we see where they've got a RV caravan or an alumni club that's reaching out. So I mean, it should be an electric atmosphere Saturday night in Memorial Stadium, and again a heck of a ball game too. I mean, so excited about what can happen on the field too.
Okay, can I go back to the 903 thing for
Sure.
just a sec? So the funds raised from that are for performance and medicine for the student athletes, right?
Correct. That was we kind of, like I said, we kind of turned it into a little bit of a focused micro campaign, and so we did it specifically for that initiative for that. And what I think we'll do in the future is maybe kind of move that around a little bit too. Maybe next year focus on some academic enhancements. Kind of shift it around from there and kind of be responsive to a couple of little just specific needs. And again, I don't think it's more. What we were looking to do from it is not kind of support just traditional operational expenses, right? But really, is there something we could do to add to, or enhance what we're doing already? And
Go
that's
get
exactly
something
what we're
that
getting.
we couldn't fit in the budget.
Correct.
Right.
Exactly right. Which is exactly what we're going to be able to do with this year's initiative.
So what that takes me to the question, we always talk about budgets, $4 million for scholarships for the entire athletic department, and then you have your operational costs. What's the budget for the health and performance?
Well, I'll tell you this: it moves around a little bit, and I say that because it's so fluid based on what happens in terms of injury. So
There you go. If nobody gets hurt, you don't have to
that's exactly
buy a
it.
bunch of Band-Aids.
So, I mean, those medical expenses can go. I mean, I've seen it in some recent budget years get as high as $750,000 just to treat and care for our student athletes.
Yikes.
I've seen some budget years where it was a little lighter, maybe less out-of-pocket expense for the university. So closer to $250,000, right?
Wow,
And
that's a big swing.
Yeah, it's a huge swing, and that doesn't include the cost of salaries and tape and that type of stuff. So I mean, you're going to get close to $1.5 million, $2 million potentially just in athlete care when you throw in performance, nutrition, strength and conditioning. So it can get that high. And so one of the things that we've really tried to do to be good stewards of the dollars that we've got is how do we make sure we're taking advantage of all the different all the different tools that we've got in our tool belt to support student athletes. Maybe being a little bit more attentive to what's happening in. Can we fill the gap with some additional insurance premium so that we can reduce costs, particularly in high-risk sports? So these are all the things that Brian and his team are working on behind the scenes that you never see, right? But, not just taping ankles. They are doing that and taking care of injuries, but continuing to try to manage how we get the most out of the resources that we've got and put all the different assets and resources together. Shopping insurance plans, tap it into primary. We actually have we actually split fund a position over in student health that helps us manage insurance costs. We do quarterly checks on primary insurance, and then we've got our own secondary athletics insurance on top of that, in addition to NCAA catastrophic. So these are all the layers of student athlete health care that you probably never see, but and honestly, you hope you never
Yeah,
use either
yeah,
because that means
sure.
someone got hurt.
Right.
But just how far we've come in student athlete healthcare in 16 months is incredible, and that is really just a testament to Brian White and his team over there in sports medicine, and the relationship with Hunt Regional, which is led by Dr. Scott Pierce, who's our chief medical officer in athletics. So a great partnership, and they continue to try to find different ways to elevate what we're doing as well. I think we're doing it pretty dang good right now, and we've really become a model program in the Southland where people are calling us saying, hey, how are you doing this, how are you doing that, and in a very short amount of time. And so anytime you're getting the calls from people asking, hey, how are you doing this, you know you're heading in the right direction.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, totally.
This is why we call it Inside Line Athletics. Jim, thanks so much, man. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
All right, folks, line up. We've got a busy weekend, and we're heading out to Cali for football one more time. Talk to you then.